All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with my dog, my man, my homie, Seth.
I'm the man and the dog and the homie.
Yeah, yeah, you be. Seth, how you
Those are
holding
the
in there today?
homies. I'm doing okay, After I'm getting very hungry, and that makes it difficult for me. It
I
becomes my
know.
cake. I'm having a cake crisis because I need some.
Have you made any cake recently or no?
Um, we made zucchini bread a few days ago. Does that count?
Yeah, that does. Have you ever made banana bread?
Yeah, of course. Duh, it's good.
Wait, did you
Duh.
make it like recently or no?
I have I would say I have made banana bread in the past year for sure, but probably even like 6
Okay, so
months or
not
so. Yeah.
recently,
Not like super
not in these
recently.
times. Okay,
But like we make
I'm gonna make this scroll.
every Sunday we make a we make our breakfast for the week because in Italy you could eat cake and cookies for breakfast. So every Sunday we make cake or cookies for our breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. Hi Johnny. Nice to see you. Sup?
Sorry, Johnny. I was writing fast. Sup, Johnny? Hey,
Oh, and we've
Alessia.
got hi Alessia from Naples, Padova and Naples. Very nice. What's cracking? Ooh, we got some nice slang in there. What are you
Thanks.
guys
That's what I'm
doing
all
at
about.
home? How are you holding up?
I'm holding up all of my linens right now. What are you holding up?
Our, my hands are dropped at my sides, man. I'm in a desperate
I'm
situation.
holding up
Oh,
a water bottle.
you are. I see it. I have nothing in my hands. Um,
Yeah. Um,
I'm ready for this to be done, though. I'm getting very
writing down
tired
different
of.
ways.
I mean, I'm enjoying being at home. Actually, like I don't mind the time I'm getting things. Last night, I've been writing a piece of music, and last night I submitted it to a publishing company.
Did you write the score or did you actually like record the music?
No, I wrote the music to be because I think like I'm a musician. I worked in a church, and so um I'm an organist and pianist, and so I started writing for fun. I started just writing music that could be performed at church, but um, with the idea of trying to get it published. So there's a publishing company in the United States that publishes especially for like sacred music and especially Catholic sacred music, and so I sent it to that company to try and get my music published.
Excellent.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it because it would be a nice, you know, I love music and I want, it'd be a good outlet. Johnny's surviving, staying alive. And Alessia's very chill.
Ha,
That's
ha,
a good way to
ha,
say it.
ha. Stay alive.
Stay-
Yeah. Through some
What do
very
you
chill days. I like that you're chilling. Uh, no,
Yeah.
I've been up to, I mean, it's funny that you and I kind of both resort to music. You've been doing more of the sacred arts, where I downloaded this Magic's Music Studio, and I've been trying to
Uh-huh.
actually make some things out of either like I mean, it's a pain in the butt. It really is a problem because I don't have a MIDI. And you've played
Ah.
around with some MIDI keyboards, I
Yeah,
believe, in your day, or no?
I bought actually about a month ago, just before this all started. Thank goodness I did it before this virus started. But I bought a full size keyboard with a MIDI cable that's plugged into my computer, so I can actually write. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
So you lucky dog. So I'm looking at some different MIDI keyboards to purchase right now because I've been on the recording studio that I have. I can use my PC keyboard, but it's really kind of it really confuzzles me because I hit an F on my keyboard and it could be an A because the F is allocated to just a key on the keyboard. It's not like the actual keys.
Oh,
It's a
that's
mess.
weird though. Yeah.
And so I feel like if I had a little MIDI, like a 20, I can start to actually, do some drums, get in with some more piano, different things. So
Uh-huh.
that's where I'm at right now. I'm
Oh,
trying to
you need
keep
to just
myself
get
creative
yourself
because
a little, yeah, get yourself a little keyboard,
exactly,
just like
yeah,
a little
a,
two
a,
octave thing or
a pocket
something.
keyboard.
A pocket
Yeah.
keyboard. Yeah. Do it. There are
So
some apps though, if you have on your phone, there are some apps that put a keyboard on your phone I mean, but I don't think it would connect in a way that you could have it
but
also read
exactly.
music,
I'm
but
trying to connect it into the recording software. That's
okay.
the whole gambit. So technically, what I could do, because I mean, it's getting way too technical. Johnny and Alessia don't care. They don't care
I
about
know.
what we're.
But you guys, I know
But I
for
mean,
you, go ahead. Finish.
no, you go ahead, Seth.
Well,
Please. You have such a
I'm just
better voice than I do.
Well, I'm just thinking, so like Alessia and Johnny, both of you guys speak English super, super well. And it's unfortunate that you can't just talk to us the way that we're talking because I know that you're able to. But so please just respond to anything we're writing, ask us questions, throw things at us so that we have something to banter about. Um, and we'll do our best because, we want you to be a part of this, but, Masterclass for me, the webinar is difficult because like you guys can talk super well, and we can't just talk to you. It kind of
I like
sucks.
how John yoga, and my question for John is virtually doing yoga. Are you also virtually sweating?
Nice. Last week, did I tell you about my back? I don't remember if I did. I virtually
No, you didn't tell me about your back.
stupid
You only told me about
moronic
your front.
situation. Oh, no. So like last Tuesday, um because it's true that during this whole period we're at home and it's difficult to be moving the way we maybe normally would. I mean, in general, I'm not doing a whole lot of activity anyways, but um last Tuesday I had all my lessons in the morning and I was sitting on my bed. I did them from my bed. And I think that probably just like my back wasn't supported well and stuff like that. So taught all my lessons. I went into the kitchen to make lunch and I dropped a little box, like, and not something heavy at all. Okay. Like I'm talking like maybe like a kilo. Like there's not so like a box of pasta, it was a box. And when I bent down to pick up this box, I threw my back out like the way an old person would.
No.
And I was like, and I mean, if I was bending down to pick up like, something heavy, at least I would have not felt so stupid. But it was nothing what I picked up. And for several days, like I couldn't move, it really hurt. It was stupid. Couldn't sleep.
How are you doing now?
Well, now I'm okay. I'm back.
Okay,
But it took
you're in
like
tip-top shape?
not I mean, at this point, it's basically fine. But for about I would say from Tuesday until like Saturday morning, when I woke up, finally I was like, but okay. But there's still just like a lot of tightness in my back. Have you ever done that
Yeah.
before? Like pulled your back?
I mean, I've had like I when I used to work in building, I've woken up before
Yeah.
where I couldn't move out of my bed. Like my back
Hmm.
was honestly like locked, and there were certain times where it actually felt like the lower back was almost like out of place.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could have been a hernia. I don't know. I never checked it out. I never pursued it anymore. But I remember. I mean, even though like I think when you don't do proper stretches and you do a lot of physical activity, or you sit in a incorrect position, for example, like you said last week, you were on the couch or on the bed. I
Yeah.
noticed that being on the couch and working is way worse than sitting in a regular chair. And it sounds stupid, but I can tell you, like last week, I was having a lot more fatigue and just sitting on the couch and working than when I'm at my chair right now at the dinner table. Like
Hmm.
I have more energy. I don't have a headache. I don't know if you started to get headaches. I was talking to some of the other teachers were like, yeah, I don't know. Like I thought I was the only one. And I
No, it's
think
the
it's
screen time.
yeah, and I think that's the biggest difference is we went from a time where we met our students in school and we'd have 4 up to 6 or 7 other students, and we're always moving, and now we're back just looking at a screen, and it changes everything for you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Alessia
Hmm.
gave us a nice thing. Yeah. Alessia says you're enjoying them. Those, I think, them is the days, right? I'm enjoying them, to be honest. I
Yeah.
keep myself busy with a lot of stuff, making up my English classes, reading heavy books. Nice.
Yeah,
I'd put
I like
aside.
it.
Yes. And working out while discovering. Nice. Yes, yeah. So, Alessia, are you like, are you working? Are you a student? Like, what, you know, are you doing any smart working, or do you just have all the time in the world? She also says below, you're watching
Yeah.
Friends over. Yeah, this is a good time
Yeah.
for reviewing old shows and getting into new shows. Nice.
Yeah, it's really a time like where we really can, in a way, kind of come back to basics and kind of reform our routines. I mean, that's the most beautiful thing about this right now.
I've
As I
enjoyed it
talk
too.
to Yeah, as I've talked to more and more students on our online classes, and I ask you guys this as well. What I noticed is after this is all said and done, there's really going to be the discussion of how do we really do our work, because we've now shown and this is every employee in the world, we've now shown that we continue to work as if we were working in the office. And I
Yeah.
think that what would be amazing are for those of you that have families, that have young children, I think in this time being home, we realize that we change so quickly, and really in the 21st century everything changes at such a speed and such a rate that maybe it's time that we can dedicate 2 out of 5 days at home so that we can be
Hmm.
with our children or be with our loved
Yeah. Yeah.
ones or
Yeah.
be with and I think that's the important part out of all of this crisis, is the fact that finally maybe we don't have to be slaves to our work in
Hmm.
order to have a satisfying and full life. Maybe we can
Yeah.
have a better balance.
I agree. Cause I'm kind of hoping, at least for us, this online stuff is probably going to somehow be integrated into whatever happens after the quarantine.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be, like you said, right now, sometimes it's a bit too much in front of the screen. But like if we had a day at home and a day at the school, and a bit of going back and forth, I would be really fine with that, um to have that time. And um I don't mind it. And I know a lot of my friends, it's the same for them. It's true that they have office jobs where their offices are, some of their companies are realizing they don't really need offices anymore. And
No.
maybe for specific business meetings with clients they need spaces, but virtual spaces have become, I'm sure that this has to do with, like you said, 21st century. Maybe 15 years ago, the technology wouldn't have been ready. Um, and still, there are moments, like right now, we have our cameras off because it's not working so well. But like, there's a lot of things that don't necessarily need physical spaces anymore. And um, I just hope that when we do finish all of this, that things don't just go back to what they
No,
were,
it could
because
never though. These
yeah.
are We're living in a time where it is no longer, there's nothing reversible. This is an irreversible situation
Yeah.
where us as I mean, we now have a new foundation line of, now we have made a routine of doing everything we need to do and actually continue going forward in a sector all online,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of hybrid this concept. And I, for whenever, even I started to think about new ways of education. And one thing that really stuck with me, and probably also for you, Seth, is the first time that you went to a new country or something else like that, and you saw that work of art, or you saw that theater, or you saw that
Mm-hmm.
actual architectural building outside of looking at it in a book, your heart stopped. Okay, and that emotional experience to an architect, to an architectural piece of, what I want to say is that emotional experience, just like learning a language, is what helps us to connect the points together to actually make a real experience. And now that we're all at home, we now are looking for a new way to feel something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think in this time, you know developing classes, like for example, us being a teacher, we are teachers, and we are one in thousands of people that are still teaching, and we're looking for new ways to invigorate our students. And one thing, as I go back to the thing in university that I always thought about, was now we have the chance to mix together on-site teaching. As in, for example, if we have a concept, I've seen in these past weeks people having like Zoom dinners, or
Mm-hmm.
Zoom drinking beers together, or Zoom, and these are things that, if we can integrate them in a good way, can become
Yeah.
really amazing tools to help teach and share cross-cultural experiences.
Yeah, I do think that probably because, like you said, when this all started, in a matter of days, so like our company in particular, but so many companies had to just like figure things out. And so there wasn't, maybe like our company is using this StreamYard platform, and we're using Zoom. Every company had to figure out what to do. And I have a feeling after this, we're going to start seeing a lot of technology being developed to make things better in terms of the connections, the bandwidth, the like to improve the technology, but also devices to improve the technology, so that so that it can become, even like, the biggest trouble we have, what is that what our students are sitting here listening to us, but they can't talk to us. People are going to come up with solutions for those things, so yeah.
Because for example, what people should do, it's even the fact that, if we talk about America or Italy or China, seeing the big tech companies focusing on helping people with defibrillators or respiratory systems, and that's really an amazing thing to see, because now it's like, okay, our new problems are going to be the sense of touch in a virtual reality setting, the
Yeah.
sense of smell, the sense of taste. How can we
Hmm.
virtually? And I
Yeah.
think that's a new frontier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. um It's true. I was surprised the first time I did a virtual dinner with my friends. At first, I thought, like, this seems weird to me. Like, I'm going to sit here and eat with people, but it was really fun. It was nice. I was surprised that, and we've done quite a few now. Maybe 4 or 5, 6 times we've just set up the camera. We've done aperitivo, where we even kind of talk about what to have on the table, so that we're all sort of doing things together. um, so it's true, though, that it's creating new ways to find, like, how to make the things that can't be shared at this point through a camera, how to get those things to the other people. It'll
Yeah.
be really interesting. There's definitely things I have a friend just the other day who I called her, and we were chatting with FaceTime, so we were watching each other. But her son, who I also know, was in the background, and he was getting ready to play. He was putting like it was. I didn't realize that things like this were quite so fancy, but he was getting ready to go play video games, but with the VR, you know. So he had like the headset thing, but he had
Yeah.
in the room. He showed me like in the four corners of the room, he had four towers that were like somehow connected. All he held on to two sort of like baton things, and all over, and even on his body he had like a belt on, and there were just sensors all over everything. And these towers were reading him, you know, like where he was moving. And I didn't know that things were that advanced at this point, but he told me that um, he plays games, you know, with his friends. But it was wild because he went, and then he went into his virtual world and was gone. But like my friend and I continued to talk, but I could see him in the background, like fighting things, and he was punching and he was kicking, and I was like, he's really fighting in there. Like that's really crazy. Um, but I want to do it because I get
Yeah,
into
he's
that stuff.
into
I
it.
think yeah, and I think it's fun. But
Yeah.
if I did that here, I would kill myself because I'd kick a table or something because my living room's too small. But I'd break myself. But it was really cool. And you know, but those things are gonna. Have you seen that movie? What's it called? The Ready Player One, where it's in the future, but the people wear like a suit that they can actually feel stuff. So there's a suit that has like vibrators and sensors and stuff inside of it. So as you're playing a game, if you get kicked in the leg, like you feel it on your leg and stuff. But stuff like that's going to happen, I think. So it's cool.
Oh yeah. The sense like and like colors to change to our moods, everything like that. Going to happen because we're coming to a point in time where, you know, what is the old things that don't work anymore, and we're choosing now. For example, I think of it like this, Seth, that up until this point we had millions and millions of options, and we just always could decide what is good, what is bad, and we have too many options. And I think this situation is what created kind of a time for us to decide. Like oftentimes, especially in a consumerist like society, we
Mhm.
like to have tons of options because we don't really want to make decisions.
Yep.
But I think that complacency is what created this type of sense of not caring. And now we're in the decision, and now we're in a time, especially around this time. I mean, you know, we're in a situation, everybody, that we're passing holidays with either one other person because we're fortunate enough to be with our partners, or we're completely alone. And that's the thing, though, is in this time of being alone, we're learning a lot about ourselves, and maybe we're learning a lot about how to not be so indecisive in this
Mhm.
time, because we've had that. I mean, I can tell you that probably my entire youth was made up of just bouncing from thing to thing because I could.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think if we think about 100 years ago, people didn't have the options that we have now. And we have to be a little bit more grateful about what we have in this amazing world that we live in. And I think, you know, we kind of took everything for granted for a very long time.
I would agree. I would agree a lot because I don't, and like it all it's weird because like all of this comes from technology, like, and technology is really a good thing, but it's also what's made things so fast sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
It's a delicate time with um you know, I know like some of my friends make fun of me because of my like this like love hate relationship I have with technology. Like
Yeah.
it's very useful, but it's so easy for it to like, I don't know, like just to take you away from yourself. And um, I don't know, like it's weird how much time you can sit doing something on your phone, but then and feel like not that you've spent the time well, but just the time has passed, but then when you sit down to read a book, which would be something slower, it can be very hard to do that. Or even like you as an artist, me as a musician, like sometimes there are times now where I sit down to play the piano and I'm bored playing the piano because it's not fast enough. And that I hate that. It really,
Exactly.
it bothers me, because when I was a child, before so many of these things, I would play for hours. Like I would get in trouble because I wouldn't stop playing the piano. My mom and dad would have to yell at
Exactly.
me and
You
like,
would get
it's time to
lost
eat
inside of
dinner,
it.
get up. Yeah. And now those things, I don't know. And I think sometimes it's because there's not, and this to me is another thing that I hope that this crisis, this virus, it's like, when when I play the piano just for pleasure, there's no result. There's no reason to be doing it. And I think that our society puts a lot of pressure on that. Like if you're doing something that's not producing something, it's not worth it. There's a lot of pressure on, like, are you producing? Are you progressing? You know what I mean? Are you contributing? And when you just play the piano, you're not. You're just there. But I think we've lost that somehow. Oops. Oh, Shawn left and I didn't even notice. You guys, I'm just talking away. I think he's coming. Shawn left and I didn't realize it. Oh, now I don't know what to talk about, you guys. I hope he comes back in.
I'm back,
But what
Seth.
Shawn, I was just like on and on and on. I didn't
I
even
was
realize you
loving
were.
it, Seth.
I didn't even
You were doing a
realize you
great
were
job.
gone. But don't you
Yeah.
find that like, because like even now, so often when even if I take a picture on my phone, I'm usually taking that photo with the idea that I'm going to put this on Instagram, or I'm taking this to send to someone. I'm not just taking it for me. Um, and so so then, like, so what I was talking about was like with the piano, like if I sit down just to play for fun, like I'm so used to that my actions are serving some other. It's for Instagram, it's for Facebook, it's for me to make a recording to send to someone, or it's, you know what I mean, there's always a purpose. And that's so strong that everything we do needs to be commented on or needs to be seen, that when I sit by myself to play, there's not anyone who's necessarily benefiting from me doing it. And I feel that. And sometimes that makes it difficult for me to play. And I think that's really sad, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. Like what as I watch, more of like the creative people in the world today. Rico was a great composer, but he's like, this is not the time to play music or compose, and he's deciding to be silent. And it's interesting how different
Mm.
people, different creative people in this time are trying to find creativity, or even trying to kind of have that chance of solitude, and that chance of being quiet and processing. It's important, especially for creative people. We're learning our processes. We don't and
Mm.
since about maybe all new toys, but at the end of the day, that's not our happiness, that's not our satisfaction. and
Yeah.
and that I think in these coming days, even now when we continue to be at home doing something. with the nothing. You know, like before it was this concept of go, go, go. And now I feel like it's this concept of just rest, relax.
When I
Your
think that,
power is in
yeah, like going back to work after this, for you and I may be a little different because our jobs are not super, super stressful jobs, you know, as teachers at MIS, you know, our jobs are nice, but some of my friends who do have very heavy, you know, stressful jobs, I think are recognizing that it's not worth it. The amount of time, you know, that they haven't had a chance to do anything but their job, you know, and
yeah.
now, and you know, I know for, I don't want to say it because he's standing here cooking dinner, but I know that my partner has felt that, like, you know,
Yeah.
but he hasn't even had time before, you know, like you come home from work and you're tired, so you don't even really have time to reflect on the fact that all you're basically doing is going to work and coming home to eat dinner, you know, like that's your, but I fell into that too, even with our job. So it'll be interesting when we go back, because I know people are going to feel that sense of pull between keeping some of this peace and time, you know, but like valuable time, like use time that's being used well, and as opposed to just like free time where I'm not working.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. I mean, and that's the other thing is, you know, is whole concept, especially when we were younger, it was like find what you're passionate about and pursue that and follow your dreams and everything. And now we're in this situation where and you find a job and you might not be happy, or you might be really happy, or you might hate your job. Okay. But at the end of the day, what we're learning in this situation currently is no matter what you do, okay, no matter where you are, there is always going to be good and there's always going to be bad. And I don't want to make a generalization, but it's like in everything you're doing, whether you're a teacher or you work in an office, or you know, you work for ATM, or you're a nurse, or you know, this is time that we're giving to these engines that move the world forward.
mm-hmm.
And you have to realize adding, just want to make sure that you're adding good attitude, you know, because we can change. We obviously have proven now from February to March that we can change in a matter of seconds. Change
Mm-hmm.
is not the issue, but now it's how we change, and it's who we want to affect, and it's what we want to offer, because we can do anything. I mean, this is obviously a utopianic, a very idealistic approach and a mentality,
Mm-hmm.
but I think in this time right now have really proved that yes, there is a lot of drama and politics involved in all of this, but
Mm-hmm.
as a humanity, we really can deal with change and keep going forward if that's what we want to do.
Right. It's going to be really interesting because I think when we
And
come
it,
back, some people, there's going to be changes of jobs. There's going to be people, there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens, and it will be, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Goodness, Johnny and Alessia, did you realize that you were going to have
yeah.
such a cerebral webinar during this hour? Oh my gosh. Crazy, crazy. Solving the world's problems
But it's
one
amazing
at a
because
time.
that's what we're all about. Not one at a time, all in one. We solve the world's problems all in one.
We got them all.
Here's your one-stop shop solution for any problem you may have in
Come to
2020.
the
You know,
Tuesday
the funniest
webinar
part,
at 1.
yeah, exactly. The funniest part is, guys, I have to tell you, I was so optimistic for 2020. Like, I'm thinking, you know, I'm comparing it to 2020 vision. It's going to be a visionary kind of year. It's going to be this fantastic movement of people and ideas and everything. And then it's the exact opposite. It's the complete stop of movement and people. And but at the same time, I think it's just as powerful of what my idea was going into 2020.
Well, no, it's true because it's actually given people the opportunity to focus. There, I went with the 2020, you know, keeping things clear. Nice,
Yeah,
right?
I like it. I read it. I read that.
But no, it's true. And it will be interesting to see, because it's all just going to be so different. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
And it's a year that's probably going to be over fast.
In a blink of an eye. It's going to be over in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, though, the biggest problem is time for us. This is kind of important to think about time, because in a lot of ways, it's that sense of, when you're anxious, time moves slow. When you're having fun, time moves fast. And now what we see is, day in and day out, each day is completely different, and the time that transpires, that goes through a day, it has a completely different feeling and a completely different mood. And the most important thing about this period is, we can't forget this period. As soon as they open the door, we can't all just run out and hug each other. It has to be a very slow, methodic, planned, progressive steps to get back to something.
Yeah. Johnny says he thinks he's still. I think
Still staying optimistic, and I don't think you're crazy, because.
No, yeah, because we need to be in. There's something very exciting about what's.
I mean, we're all.
happening, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we are. Yeah, what's happening? Seth, are you there?
I am, but I'm trying not to talk a lot because our internet's all screwed up. So like.
Yeah. It's okay. Awkward silence. No. Like, to stay optimistic, to kind of push ourselves, and I like what Alessia says. 2020. I told myself that this is going to be the year change. Life as well is control change, or when we try to make change, it blows up in our face, right? It's just a complete grenade that doesn't work out. But it's the same love, like, you can't chase after love. Love finds you. You can't chase after change. Change finds you. And that's kind of a way to live, I think.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Alessia and Johnny, when this is all done, the four of us have to meet in like Perugia and have a coffee. They've come with us on an exciting adventure today.
What was that about Perugia?
So we need to meet. All four of us need to meet and have maybe not a coffee. Coffee's boring. Something more exciting than a coffee. A marocchino. That's more exciting.
No, una tazza dolorosa.
Ooh. Oh.
That is some good stuff, Seth. All right.
It is.
Going all the way down to Perugia, I'm definitely a big cup of some stuff in it.
Okay. Oh man, I'm getting hungry, and now my boyfriend's here in the kitchen across from me. He is dancing and he is cooking, and I can smell it. And he's finishing the potato chips. Not cool.
Oh man, he is rubbing it in your face.
Yeah, he is. He is. Have you eaten lunch yet?
That's not cool, man.
I'm hungry.
Lunchtime.
I've been teaching since 11. Alessia and Johnny, now all of us, we have like this day. It's gonna be thrown into thinking, and I like to journal. I'm gonna be journaling. I'm gonna be writing. I know it. Thinking. Do you hear me okay?
I really like the fact that you're making music scores. Like, I feel like I'm talking with a composer.
It was really exciting yesterday, actually, because this piece of music I started it a long time ago, and it's weird. You've probably experienced this because with art, but like most of my experience, I've performed a lot. But I'm always performing other people's music, so and the experience then of writing my own music. In one of the jobs I had when I in the United States, I used to write music fairly often, but it was really short things, and I was using it specifically for I needed the music, so I was writing it really fast, and it was for like daily services at a church. So it was small things. I wasn't giving a lot of time because I didn't need to. It was just a quick thing. But this one I spent a lot of time, and I was really like the process of creating it, it took a long time. But it was interesting because how much I didn't like the discipline of doing it is quite it's really easy to make
You need a lot of
excuses.
discipline now. And
Yeah.
it's what's interesting is more discipline.
Yeah. And well, when I sent it yesterday, through this website to the publisher, there's like a fear in it, and it's like a fear of it not being accepted, which it probably won't be, because I know like that's a big part of, submitting anything is rejection is a huge part. But like putting your thing out there, I've wrote this thing, and now I'm potentially, it's your voice. And so there's a scariness to that. And I recognize that a lot of my procrastination was even because of that fear of actually doing it, And but then even this morning I woke up like I did that, and I have other ideas, and it gave me a big energy to continue forward, to keep writing, because I have 3 or 4 other ideas and I want to do them. So I'll keep at it for sure. I'll definitely keep at it. Shawn is in and out and in and out. I don't even know if
Look,
he's.
this thing keeps kicking me out and
That's
in.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Johnny and Alessia can even hear us very well, but
I think they would have told us. Come on.
We're having a good time though. We're having a good time talking.
It cut me out. We were talking about procrastination and the scariness of producing.
Because you've probably experienced that, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I feel like when we were younger, you were a little bit more audacious, and now it's everything's overthinking, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to get through this process of always overthinking. I overthink it to death, and then I don't even start anything, and I think that's really deterring, both emotionally and physically. I mean, it's really a mental battle, and at the end of the day, I think I've really kind of coerced myself out of doing a lot of things because of just the mental.
Yeah. It's weird though, like
the not trusting.
Yeah. And it's interesting how common that experience is of, I think with something like the arts, it's easy to say like, oh, I'm not doing this because I'm afraid, but we do it all the time. We do it all the time. The fear of failure, even in a weird way, like the fear of like success. It's weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but we have time to be working on it, and I'm going to keep working on it.
Exactly. Me too. If there's anything I'm dedicated to, it's working on my fear, baby.
Oh my gosh, that was so deep and beautiful. Oh, good. Well, so both of them, Johnny and Alessia, wow, you guys have been troopers. So good for you guys. Shall we call it a day because of the troubles? And I'm finding it hard to talk with you. And
oh, you're finding it hard to talk with me?
Well, just because of the way
to talk with you.
You know what I mean. It was really
I do.
good.
I
It was
do.
really good until like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 minutes ago. It just got really
It
weird
continued to.
on
I don't
MIDI.
understand. It continued to kick me off for some reason. But I think it's because I don't want to drop names, but I think Vodafone isn't wanting to work today. All
Well, you know
right.
what? You
I
take the
think
good with the
Vodafone.
bad.
Yeah, I think Vodafone is dropping the dime here on the service. All right.
Hmm. Well,
So
Alessia and
excellent.
Johnny, thank you guys for coming. And you, I think that we have given, all of us together have given each other a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go think about it over a nice good lunch. What about you, Seth?
Yeah, me too. I think I can see the pasta boiling. I can smell the pasta. I can smell my lunch. It's making me crazy.
You're just gonna float into the kitchen from where you're sitting.
Pasta with, I think we've got a sauce made with eggplant, melanzane. Can't wait. Yes. Yes. So
Excellent. So guys, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Have a good lunch on me. Seth, always a pleasure.
yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Peace
Catch you
out.
on the flippity flop.
See y'all later.
Toodaloo.
Bye.